Hey guys, Ryan here at Signature Edits, and inside this video we are going to talk about photography and coronavirus and kind of what that means for you as a photographer, right? Whether you do wedding photography or portraits or headshots or real estates, it really doesn't matter. Probably you're going to be feeling the effects of this and kind of what's going on in the economy right now. So how do we respond and what kind of hope do we have? And I think that there is hope, and there are actually some really remarkable opportunities right now for you as a photographer and as a business owner. So let's get into it, talk about it together. See you on the other side. Alright, so let's get one thing straight. Coronavirus is certainly a big deal. It's going to affect things for the next couple of months as we go through our lives, whether you're a photographer or not. However, I want to emphasize the point that really, in any situation, you can choose how you respond. It doesn't matter if the situation is a good one or a bad one. The choice of how you respond is always going to be up to you. And so the first thing that I want to emphasize is that really, in the midst of this, the best thing you can do as a photographer and as a person is to ask yourself positive and empowering questions. To look at things with a good mindset rather than a bad mindset is going to make all the difference. So as you navigate this time in your photography and in your business and in your personal life, ask yourself the kind of questions that are going to give you good answers and productive answers that are going to take you forward and identify opportunities. Because if you're saying the sky is falling, and you're sitting around watching bookings getting canceled, you're really going to start asking yourself disempowering questions like, why does this happen to me? What am I going to do? I am absolutely, you feel stuck. Whereas if we ask positive questions like, how can I grow in this situation? That's going to give us a good answer. No matter what, you're going to come out ahead as a result of the coronavirus if you ask yourself, honestly, how can I grow in this situation? And you take action on that. Ask yourself, what can I learn in the midst of this? What opportunities has this given me? What could I be grateful for? How can I be excited about this? What could I be excited about in the future? What is going to be a good positive result of what happens in this situation? And so we're going to go through those questions together and come up with some opportunities for you and for your photography business as a result of asking those kind of questions. So first off, how can I grow in this situation? Well, watching tutorials and learning is something that is absolutely imperative to yourself as a photographer in growing in your craft. And sometimes when we're so busy with just the busyness of doing photography, we don't really have much time to invest into that. So this is a great opportunity if you have more time on your hands. Watch more tutorials. Really dive into learning and growing in your craft, whether that's watching videos on editing or photo techniques, business and marketing, mindset and personal growth, all these different things that contribute to you and contribute to your business. That's going to pull you ahead in the long run. It's going to be worth it. It's going to give you a positive net result from this situation. And the reason that I mentioned mindset and personal growth tutorials and videos in addition to things specific to your photography is that really anything that benefits you as a person is going to trickle down and affect your photography. It's going to affect the way you interact with your clients, the way that you approach business. Your mindset with the world is very important when it comes to running a business. Okay, so let's move on. What can I learn in this situation? You ask yourself, okay, I can really learn some things about the way that humanity works, the way that society is structured. You can grow on a kind of larger philosophical level, but you can also say, what can I learn? Well, I can dive into my editing. I can dive further into my photo techniques. I can learn more about marketing my business and how I can grow and get clients in the midst of something that really is not good. And if I can do it in a bad situation, then I can do even better in a good situation when things pick up in the future. What opportunities has this given me? Well, I think another opportunity besides learning and besides tutorials is to expand your network. That's the second thing that I would really emphasize. Focus on expanding your network in this time, because no other time are you going to have people with kind of less work and more opportunity to just get to know you, to interact, to network, and to grow those relationships. So if you're a photographer who hasn't met and talked with many other photographers in your area, now is a great time to do that. And why would you want to talk to other photographers who you're kind of competing with? Well, really, a rising tide raises all ships. That's a quote, I don't know who it's by, but it's a good quote because it means that if you are building the industry and you're really contributing to taking things forward and you interact with other photographers, you're going to help them take things forward too. And especially as the digital age of photography continues to progress, we're finding that more and more people are choosing to try and take their own photos rather than pay a professional to do it. So if we can improve the entire industry, that's going to separate us and help everybody involved. Additionally, one of the best sources of referrals you can get for your photography is other photographers. Ironic as it may seem, if I'm booked for a specific date and a bride reaches out to me and I have an amazing photographer friend of mine, you know who I'm going to recommend? That photographer friend of mine, because I'm already booked. We're not in competition in that sense because I'm actually going to help them out. So if you interact with more of these photographers, you grow these relationships, you start networking, you're going to have better sources of referrals and business, which is going to be especially important as we have less events happening, less weddings, less people taking photos in general. Now, the same thing goes with vendor partnerships and reaching out to businesses who have more time on their hands because they might even be closed. If you have a wedding venue in your area, well, they're going to be having some serious, let's just call it downtime on their hands over the next couple of months. And so that gives you an opportunity to go in there and say, hey, listen, I know you guys have time. I know that in the past you've been busy. I just wanted to reach out, connect with you, and see if maybe we could do some things to update your website, get you some new videos, some new photos, whatever it is. You can really build that networking relationship, and it just benefits everybody because they have some time now, whereas they might have been too busy before. Okay, so lastly, I want you to ask yourself, what can I be grateful for in this situation, and what other opportunities are there to get excited about? So asking yourself what to be grateful for, or what you could be grateful for, is the most empowering question probably you can ask in a situation. It totally changes your mindset because it can take something that is totally negative, totally just and turn it into something you can actually be excited about and find kind of the silver lining in the midst of it. And I promise you, no matter what, this isn't just ignoring the bad and pretending it doesn't exist. We don't want to do that. We want to be real and address things that are maybe threats to our business or to our personal lifestyle. But at the same time, if you have the silver lining in mind, you say to yourself, you know what, things are bad, but this is going to allow me to become stronger as a result. This is actually maybe going to help because the hobbyist photographers who aren't as serious about it as I am are going to have to just go back to their other jobs. There will be less photographers and the same amount of jobs in the future. So this is a net positive for me. Or maybe it means that, you know what, I finally have the time to update my website and update my portfolio and really do the things in my business that I've been putting off for a while. I can organize that hard drive. I can sit down and redecorate my office. Whatever it is that's going to wind up being a net benefit for you, and you might not have had time to do it otherwise. Or maybe it means, you know what, I'm normally way too busy. I spend way too much time on business. I'm going to take a week and just spend it with my family, spend it with my friends, and really just connect with things that matter more than simply business and making a living. So those are opportunities and things to be grateful for. And lastly, what can I be excited about? Ask yourself that question in the future. What can you be excited about as a result of this? And you can really come up with lots of great answers. For example, I'm really excited about the fact that this particular coronavirus thing that we're dealing with is going to give me the opportunity to grow, to serve more people, to create more resources, to help you, to educate you. At the end of the day, I'm going to wind up ahead in my business and in my personal life because I'm going to grow as a result of this situation. We don't grow in the easy times, we grow in the hard times. So be encouraged in that. It's not always easy, it's not always pleasant, but in the end, if you manage to maintain a positive and growth-focused attitude and really take action in a positive way, you're going to wind up growing more than you would have if things had just continued on easy coast mode. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you, just gives you some ideas of how you as a photographer can kind of prepare for the situation we're about to enter into as more and more events get canceled, as photography bookings might be closing up around you. Well, those are some options, right? And if you do have bookings that are trying to cancel, I would encourage you, do your very best to defer those bookings. So, for example, if a wedding has already paid me a retainer and they want to change the date, I'm totally fine with that. I understand the circumstances. However, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm absolutely on board with this. You've paid your retainer. Whatever date in the future you select, just confirm it with me to make sure it's free, and we'll do that date instead. So you don't necessarily have to say goodbye to that total booking. It's more just going to be a deferring of that booking and a deferring of that income. In the meantime, I'm going to focus on other opportunities in the photography space. So for example, real estate brokerages right now, well, any large business with lots of people in it is probably going to switch to working from home, and these realtors are going to have more time on their hands. So you know what I'm going to do is reach out to these realtors and say, hey, listen, you have some time on your hands. Let's update your headshot. Let's really give you an edge with your media when it comes to this next kind of economic downturn that we're going to be entering into, so that you can take advantage of it and stand out from the other real estate agents. Now that is something that is an opportunity I wouldn't have had in a market where houses are selling left and right, and real estate agents don't need to worry about these little things that set them apart because everything is good, right? So that's where sometimes there are opportunities that you might not have seen before. Some other opportunities, school is out. So, for example, if school is out, there's more students at home, and students at home means now all of a sudden you could be doing student portraits, grad portraits. You could do these things during the week, during the school day, whereas before you would have had to do them on the evenings or on the weekends. Now you have more opportunity to do more of these bookings. Same thing goes for people working from home. If people are working at home already, that means they can do in-home sessions no problem. You don't have to wait till just doing it in a few select hours on the weekend. You can do them during the week, all week long. Businesses are closed, so we can update their media. We can talk to them about doing things that they've been putting off for a long time to give them an edge in this economic situation. So there's opportunities there if you look for them. Even for wedding photographers. For example, if you are a wedding photographer and you're finding people are canceling their weddings, as really that's going to be happening more and more over the next couple of weeks here, why not create an elopement package? Reach out to a couple different vendors, different people who do awesome work, and put together some kind of a special deal where you organize maybe the dress, you organize the table, you organize whatever, the linens and the cutlery and the settings, and you just do a really romantic elopement somewhere beautiful and nearby, or in a destination a couple hours drive away. But you can do an elopement for a couple who is planning on having a big wedding, and then have that elopement serve as a reservation for a future reception, because that is a reality. People are going to want to get married. They're not going to want to put that off for 8 months, so a lot of them are going to elope. So why not take advantage of that and create an elopement package, and then later on do the reception for them when they have the time, and it makes sense to do so because coronavirus is no longer a thing. So if you're a photographer and you're looking for opportunities, now is the time to really sit down, ask yourself positive, empowering questions, and find those opportunities and act on them. Those who take action are going to be the ones who see results in the midst of this, and so I'd encourage you, make a list, write down what opportunities you have in front of you, how you can develop, how you can grow, what you can be grateful for, and how you're going to be better as a result of the next few months. All right, so I hope this video has been helpful for you. If it was, do me a big favor, hit that like button and smash that subscribe. Otherwise, I just want to end with a thought that at the end of the day, we can't control what happens in the world around us. We can't. All we can do is decide how we're going to respond. Are you going to take this as an opportunity to change and to grow, or are you going to sit this one out because you think you can't do anything about it? Well, really, the decision is yours, and the way you respond makes all the difference. I hope that you have some concrete steps now that you can take and apply to your business and to your photography. And listen, if you want to join me in this kind of journey in bettering ourselves, I'm going to give away my course on network marketing for free. You can sign up for that in the link below and grab some free presets while you're at it. I'll leave those in the link as well. If you have questions, comments, please, I'd love to have a discussion and kind of do the journey with you guys. Even if you have requests for future videos and tutorials, let's do it. Okay, so leave those in the comments below. I'll make sure to respond to every single one. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? Peace.